Okay, let's say you must have constructed your poultry house and you probably must have booked your day-old chicks from a reputable hatchery of your own choice. So what next? Well, in this farm diary session, I'm going to be sharing with you what we do over here at Valley Side Livestock in preparation for arrival of day-old chicks. Probably you might learn one or two things you will apply in your own farm, and the video is starting right now. Welcome back, guys. I want to specially give a shout out to Kelechi Wamba. He left a comment in the previous video. He was in fact the first person who left a comment there. So Kelechi Wamba, special shout out goes to you. First thing we do over here in preparation for arrival of day-old chicks is we prepare the brooding session, the brooding house. We don't have a special building constructed for brooding, so we brood the best in the house we are going to raise them till maturity. First thing we do is to use trampoline to create a barricade, like a section where we can keep the number of birds with enough floor spacing that can accommodate them for the next 2 weeks, because the brooding for broiler is meant to be 2 weeks. Probably by then they must have feathered very well and able to control their own environment and room temperature. So first thing we do is to prepare the brooding house. We use trampoline to barricade the place. Then on top of the tan beam, let's call it the roof of that section, we use bag, probably maybe cement bag, but what we use here is feed bag. We use it to make something like ceiling, so that when we are generating the heat for brooding, we won't be losing our heat outside, because we have loss of ventilation here. If you are listening close to this video, you might be hearing wind sound because the breeze over here is too much. After the preparation of the brooding section, the next thing we do is to wash and disinfect the materials and then the entire poultry house. For the washing, we use just normal detergent with water, and then for the disinfectant we used a broad spectrum phenol based disinfectant that is mainly used for agricultural purpose, not the type that we use to bath as human beings. So this one is strong, it's virucidal, it can kill bacteria and other stuff that can disturb the incoming birds. So we disinfect the surface, we wash and disinfect the surface. Then the pipes, due to we're making use of nipple system, and it happened to be that the pipes are not new because we've already used those pipes to raise our layers when they were still in deep litter before they went into cage. Now the pipes are just free, we're not using them for anything, so we had to reinstall them in this new pen house. So the pipes need to be disinfected too, outside and inside. For the inside, I made use of a chemical called isochlor. Isochlor is a water treatment chemical. It's safe for drinking if you use a small dose, but I use a high dose that will help me clear anything that is left in the pipe. So with the high dose of isochlor that I made use of, I left it to stay in the pipe overnight, and then the next morning I flushed it out. Other materials like the feeders that we were making use in the pen house, we are washed and disinfected. Next, we went to a nearby furniture shop for wood shavings, not sawdust, wood shavings. You know, these birds are too small. If you give them sawdust, use sawdust as their bedding, they may not be able to differentiate between the food and sawdust, which might cause a problem. So we went for wood shaving, the thicker ones, and then we sprayed them on the brooding section only, about 4 inches thick. But it should have been more than that. If you have more access to sawdust, you can probably make your own up to 7 inches thick, because the bedding temperature matters during brooding too. And then after placing the sawdust, we made use of this brooding. There's a pepper called brooding pepper. It's kind of brown in color. Well, I might not see. The one we are using is brown in color. It might have different colors, but the only one I've seen before is brown in color. But if you don't have it, you can make use of newspaper. Make sure that you use it to cover the entire wood shaving surface, at least for the first few days of the bird's life, for them to be able to differentiate what is actually food or what is not. Then at the end of the day, in the evening, we test run some of our materials like the charcoal pots. There are various ways to generate heat in the poultry. You can use infrared, there are gas arrangements, there are yellow bulbs, this heat generating bulbs arrangement, or you can go local. Like us, we make use of charcoal pots where we buy enough charcoal and then we regulate their temperature. So for other materials we needed for the preparation of these beds, we made them available. Number one material we need is the feed. The feed they will be eating for the first few days in their life, at least should be in the farm, not when the birds come, we bring feed. The next are the preliminary medications like the antibiotic, the glucose, electrolyte. We have the drug for coccidiosis like coccidiostat, and then the vaccinations are not needed right now because if you get them earlier it might get spoiled in your hand. You might spoil the cold chain and then expose your birds to something worse than what you are trying to prevent. So that's it on how we prepare for the arrival of our birds. Feel free to share how you do yours in the comment section, and if you have any question or concern concerning this particular video, feel free to ask your question in the comment section. I hope you learned something new. If you didn't, something better is coming. So I'm going to be sharing with you the day-to-day activity in raising broiler. So when these broilers we are expecting comes in, I'll be telling you what we do on a daily basis. And also in the description below, I'll be sharing a list of possible disinfectants you can use to clean your own brooder section and pen house generally. Thanks for watching. That's it for this video. Keep it locked on our farm diary and see you in my next video.